The Labor government's decision to increase aid by over $1.4 billion over the next 4 years at the last federal budget was a historic moment. It drew a line in the sand after a decade of cuts which have had significant impacts on both our relationships with our closest neighbours and on the world's most poor and vulnerable people.
Young leaders and women leaders from across the Australian Church have been at the forefront of Micah's advocacy, calling for a more generous Australian aid program. They have met with over 500 MPs across the past 5 years to build this important bipartisan support. This has included meetings with many of yourselves, with both our Women Leaders Network and our Pacific Australian Emerging Leaders Summit, for which we are grateful. The past 2 weeks, we had the opportunity to gather these leaders from across Australia for the first time since these recent announcements were made. In response, we wanted to share with you the following messages of thanks from these leaders.
Thank you to all of our amazing Australian MPs.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your thoughtfulness.
Thank you.
Thank you for prioritising humanity.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you!
Thank you for your contribution to us being a just global neighbour.
Looking forward, we know that we are entering a tough time for both our nation and the world as we enter a new state of polycrisis. Our message through this time to all Australians will continue to emphasise, above all, the moral responsibility we have to provide a generous and effective Australian aid program. But we will be taking a further step and explaining to Australians and parliamentarians how an effective Australian aid program can also help to make a safer region and a safer world for all, bringing both economic and national security benefits to our nation.
As always at Micah, we thank you for your leadership and service to our nation, and we look forward to continuing to work together to build a just and generous Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you.